Welcome back, Truth Seeker. In the headlines, the death of another relatively young actor. This time it is Andre Braugher, gone at age 61. And one of his most remembered roles is in the film Glory, about the American Civil War, which of course began in 1861, emphasis on 61. Andre Braugher was also in the film titled Class of 61, which is about the Civil War. That film came out April 12th, 93, and of course the American Civil War began April 12th, 1861. On top of that, him dying at 61 just before Christmas stands out, because in Gematria, Christmas equals 61, like Christian, like Jesus, like cross, like church. And remember, 61 is this special spiritual number in sacred geometry, where 61 represents the number of circles in the flower of life, the symbol that represents God. And of course, the practice of coding numbers into words, gematria, means geometry and language. They're saying he died December 11th, 14 days before Christmas. As we know, the word dead equals 14. But it also pertains to Jesus, who has the 61 connection. The generations to Jesus are 42, and they're divided into 3 sections of 14. Of course, we also know how in Gematria, slave equals 14, like Obama, and we were talking about the slavery tributes they just put in the new Obama film, Leave the World Behind. If you missed that, it was covered in yesterday's videos and a couple I put out over the weekend. But again, as we approach this Christmas time, so many rituals like this every year, and it's a reminder the one physical description of Jesus in the Bible was that of a darker complected man. Now, if you're new here, Gematria is very simple. It's based on the alphabetic order forwards and backwards, and I want to make a point about the name Jesus beyond just 61. Notice, if you write in the name Jesus, it equates to 61 when you run the alphabetic order in reverse. If I can make this bigger here. If you run the alphabetic order in reverse, Z is 1 back to A is 26, Jesus is 61. If you run it in reverse with numerology, Jesus is 34. And notice the word black in that same cipher is also 34. Again, all of these words are 61 and 34. Church is 61 and 34. Cross is 61 and 34. And again, Jesus. And Christmas is not 34, but it is 61, just like Christian. Again, special number. But the reason I bring up the 34 piece is not just because he's black, but because also the film Glory came out in 89, which was 34 years ago. And with regards to 89 in Jesus, the story of Jesus is the gospel, which is 89 chapters. And remember, 89 corresponds with the word religion, which equals 89. 89 is also the 11th Fibonacci number, which also corresponds with Jesus, and also corresponds with the word black. So just notice the overlap with black and Jesus. Again, only one spot in the Bible is there a physical description of Jesus. Hair like wool, darker complected skin. Year after year, a lot of rituals like this with darker complected men who have hair like wool. Who runs Hollywood? The Jesuits, a.k.a. the Society of Jesus, just like they run the nation and the news media and have programmed the racism all over. In light of the American Civil War, let's not forget that Lincoln blamed the Civil War on the Jesuits just before his very Jesuit assassination on April 14th, the day the Secret Service was made. But yeah, R.I.P. to Andre Braugher. And again, so often when these celebrities die, they die in connection to the work they're most remembered for. In his case, he did at least 2 films on the Civil War. Again, one of them called Class of 61, going with his death at age 61. So R.I.P. Till next time, Truth Seeker.